My role at Norman Regional is a medical assistant, and I work for the Journey Clinic, and I've been there for 5 years. I first came to Norman Regional back in the late 80s, and I worked in the surgery department for a while, as well as 4 North. It was known as the surgical floor back then. I actually grew up between Oklahoma and Louisiana. I'm actually from Louisiana, would go back and forth. So growing up in Oklahoma was a very trying time back in the days in the 70s. It wasn't so much as a multicultural place to grow up. So it was multiple challenges there, even within the blacks itself, you know, depending on what color you were or what shade of color you were as far as being black. So those were very challenging there. Growing up here in Oklahoma versus growing up in Louisiana, where it was predominantly black where I came from. So it was a cultural thing for me. When I say different shades of black, I mean like my complexion is a little bit darker. Then you had those that were lighter complexion, caramel color, if you will, shades of black that lived in Oakhurst Addition at the time. And if I lived over by the Mont, and that area just wasn't looked at as a good place to live. It was considered a poor place to live. So the blacks that were lighter complexion that lived in Oakhurst, or even a darker complexion that lived in Oakhurst at that time, were, you know, the top notch. So it was, you don't get to play with us, you don't get to come over, you definitely don't get to sit with us at school. Things I like about Norman now, it's more of a diverse culture. There's more interracial things going on. More understand there's more black police officers. There was a black chief of police at one point. Just the overall changes in Norman, and you know how it is okay to venture out now, and you know you got the biracial races that are predominant. You know, basically, it's been good to watch that. You know, it is still heartening to see that there is still racism, and that's just everywhere. But you know that part is still there. What I would like to see them do is become more educated in where we came from or what we stand for, who we are, you know, try to understand how we feel, or, you know, if they say Black History Month, it's actually Black History Year. You know, the celebration of a month is great, but throughout that year, we're still black. You know, we have to deal with who we are and what we're facing throughout the year. So, you know, I'd like for them to just be a little bit more educated, or just, you know, ask, you know, what we feel or what we're going through.